Welcome back to There Will Be Analysis. I am Nick Speedman.
I'm Josh Lazarus.
And we are Omega Level.
Omega level, Omega level, Omega level.
Omega Level. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. So let's just get into this. Le simple favor.
Let's go ahead and move right on past that one. We'll walk right by them. So this week we are going to go over, break down, dissect, analyze the movie A Simple Favor.
Let's calm that down, okay? We're going to talk about what we liked and what we took from it, okay? Let's take a break.
The 2018 movie A Simple Favor, directed by Paul Feig, starring Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. When I first saw the previews for this, right, I'm a huge Anna Kendrick fan. She is my favorite comedic actress. I think she's amazing at dramatic work, but she doesn't do it as often. So I was already kind of game. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. New Anna Kendrick movie? Heck yeah. Blake Lively's in it. I really like Blake Lively. I think she is super underrated, man. She was fantastic in Savages. I thought she was award-worthy, like should have won awards for her performance in The Town. I also think she should have been gotten awards consideration for Savages. I never watched Gossip Girl, so I didn't know who she was in that. I don't even know the first thing I saw Blake Lively in. But when I saw The Town, I was like, well, I like her. She's amazing. And then I've just kind of watched stuff she's been in since then, like kind of followed her career. I thought she was great in The Shallows. She was awesome in that. I thought it was a really good movie. Yeah, very simple movie.
She did great. I'm glad that effective. Her and her husband did a type of Trapped movie.
That was awesome. Yeah, dude. Yeah, buried and then her doing Shallows. That was really cool. So yeah, I like Blake. I think she's underrated. So I saw the preview and I was like, oh, the two of them. And then like the preview happened and I was like, oh, man, this is not going to be good.
Yeah, you're like,
I mean, it feels like this looks like trash, honestly. And then it said it was directed by Paul Feig. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has some credence because Paul Feig is like a decently well-known comedy director. He makes some pretty good movies. And I was like, well, I mean, he made Bridesmaids, which I'm not a big fan of, but people love.
I found it really funny. I mean, Kristen Wiig, my favorite.
I love Kristen Wiig.
Our comedic actress.
She was fantastic in Bridesmaids. Fantastic, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, he's got some clout behind him, and Bridesmaids is a well-made movie. Like, Feig can make a movie, right? So I was like, man, it's got the bases set, you know what I mean? It's got the director, it's got the actresses in it, but just the preview did not look good.
Nope. I don't think they did a good job.
Like the very over the top, very corny. The marketing was awful for the movie, so I did not watch it in theaters. It went by, and it wasn't until like it had been out for a while, and I randomly happened to see some like reviews, or not even reviews, but people talking about and gushing about the movie and how like great Anna Kendrick and great Blake Lively were.
Blake Lively.
How great like the two actresses were, and how the story was pretty like. It was different. It was conventional while not being conventional. I was like, this sounds interesting. And then you and I had spoken about it, and you were like, yeah, apparently this is really good. Like, everyone's talking about how great this movie is. It was like the sleeper of the year. I was like, oh, wow, that makes me happy. So I guess I'm going to check it out. And I did, and it was terrible. All right, episode over.
That's pretty much it. Guys, if you want to check us out, like, comment, subscribe. Pretty conventional movie when they were showcasing it. And for the first 1.5 to 2 acts, it really did feel like, okay, what are they building up, you know? She builds a relationship with a woman that's completely different than her, which I love the way they painted Blake Lively in this film. It was a very progressive film. You know, she's wearing nothing but suits. She's the breadwinner.
She's very like androgynous in like appearance almost, and she's portrayed as like the man of the relationship. You know what I mean? Like that typical archetype of what that would be. She makes the money. She like runs the finances. She runs their lives, and the husband is the stay-at-home like parent. You know what I mean? So like.
Failed author.
I like how they flip the roles there, which it doesn't really matter about. Like the roles are stupid to begin with, anyways. You know what I mean? But I like how they kind of paint her in the light of like she is the go-getter. Yes. She is the one that runs everything in the family, right? And Anna Kendrick's character is absolutely not. She is the typical stay-at-home mom. Yep. Except she's a stay-at-home widow. Yeah.
Dark backstory that they painted for her. You don't really find that out for the first like 50 minutes of the movie.
That was insane. Man, insane. I like how they do that scene too. How she's telling her what happened, but she's telling her version of what she wants to tell her, but they're showing you what really
happened.
And then Blake Lively's just too smart. She sees right through it.
Obviously sees right through it. That's not all that happened. That's not all that happened. And that's also falls into her line because she runs basically the PR for this big executive, Dennis Nylon, who I think is in the fashion industry.
Icon. Yeah.
Yes. And she pretty much settles anything. Any wildfire, she contains it. Yeah, like she's the girl. She's the person that does that. Like, man.
Anna Kendrick and this woman, Blake Lively's character, Emily.
Yes.
They befriend each other because their kids go to the same school. So they start hanging out. Anna Kendrick tells Blake, you know, like if any point in time you need someone to watch your kid, like I can pick him up and like our kids can have a play date and I can like, you know, watch him for you or whatever. And she calls on her to do that like once or twice throughout the movie, and they end up like hanging out with each other while this is happening. She meets like Blake's husband, found out he's an author who has written one book, which Emily points out at every turn she can. She's like, wrote one book, never wrote again. I love how she just nonstop rags him for that. Always rides him for it. Like, you're an author, but you don't write. What are you doing?
And I feel like there was an important line of dialogue in there that like actually upsets me hearing that that's how somebody would think as a woman. They have, when she finally meets Emily's husband, she mentions that she reads her books, and she read that when she was pre-mommy brain. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like how that's, some people try to, and she said that in there. She keeps apologizing. Anna Kendrick's character, and Blake says, don't do that. That is a messed up habit that women have. That's stupid. That. Stop it. And I agree, it is. You don't have to apologize for everything you do. Now, if you actually did something very terrible, sure, yes, you need to apologize.
Maybe you should apologize.
But just for being like, being a woman have to apologize, that's ludicrous.
I really liked that line.
So she downplays herself. She's trying to fall into this typical stay-at-home mom, but she's very gung-ho. She does all these PTA things. She's involved in the school, the child's life.
One. All
has
the other
a vlog. That's what this whole setup is her vlog, saying that her friend Emily's gone missing, and then it goes back to the first time that they met. And then that's where the story really begins, when they go back into that. You see how they met. You have these three little catty two wives, the three moms that are back to the thing. One of them's a husband. Yes, essentially three moms.
The other parents like talk about how Anna Kendrick's character makes them feel inadequate.
Yep.
Like, she's such a good
parent.
And she's such a good parent that they're like, we're terrible.
Because they bring up, I'll bring my helium tank and balloons. You like, actually have one?
She's like, you don't? Bad parents. Like, she's such a great parent that by association, all the other ones are like, oh, well, we're terrible. And Blake Lively's character even says that at one point when she comes to, after one of the times that Anna Kendrick has been watching her kids, she comes to go pick up her kid, and Anna Kendrick's out in like this field, like the park, playing with him. It's like, oh, Darth Mommy, it's stupid. And Blake Lively's like, don't do that. Don't downplay your good parenting to make me feel better because I'm a bad parent. I was like, whoo, man.
The best thing I could do for my kid is blow my brains out. That is a line.
Yeah.
She obviously said she's joking.
I'm joking.
Yes. But to somebody that like Anna's Kendrick, or
Anna's Kendrick.
Anna's character.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, okay. She took it as serious. Like, oh, man, this got real dark. You know, she barely knows Emily.
And then in that scene is when there's the greatest quote of the whole film. When she takes Emily's picture, and Emily turns around, she's like, delete that. If you don't delete that, I will slap an injunction on your yearbook.
Like, immediately, delete the picture. Okay, shows, clicks.
And when you're first watching a movie, that's really odd.
Yep.
Like, I know people that don't enjoy pictures. I'm not a big picture person. I don't really care about them, but I'm not to the going so far as I'm like, delete it right now or I'll kill you.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa. She was very like adamant immediately. Like, obviously the intention of that is to make you think, okay, well, why?
What is she hiding?
Why? What's going on here? Like, throughout the whole movie, I think leading up until Emily disappears, right? So Anna Kendrick's character befriends her, and then all of a sudden Emily disappears one day. She asked Anna Kendrick to pick up her kid, and then she doesn't hear from her for days. She can't find her. She calls her husband. Her husband's like, oh, well, this is actually kind of typical. She's done this before.
Husband's in London with his mom.
He's in London with his mom
her head.
Because she broke her hip.
Broke her hip.
Broke her hip.
Okay, I thought she smashed her head.
So he comes back and like picks up the kid or whatever. Anna Kendrick's character's telling him how like all their friends, all the other moms and stuff feel like it's a good idea to call the cops. Emily's been gone for like 3 or 4 days at this point now.
When she called the husband 2 days.
Yeah, she called the husband 2 days. Yeah, and he takes him like, I'm sure.
The progression of time in this movie is pretty fast. They don't really specify too often.
It takes him 12 hours or whatever to fly from London back to here, however long. And she tries to contact her office to find out what's wrong with her. And like, oh yeah, she went to Miami. It's like, well, that's not what she told me she was doing. You know, they call the cops, and the cops come, whatever, blah blah. So yeah, that's the entire setup of the film. Is that her character goes missing, and now Anna Kendrick is like trying to find her, but she's trying to find her in like how a very uninformed person would try to do it.
Yeah.
Like, just call the husband, call the cops, call the work, and that's pretty much all she does.
And she's notifying her blog as well.
And she's like talking to the blog too. She's like, well, I don't know like really what else to do in this situation, as why would you? You know what I mean? So throughout the film, the cops are also investigating her disappearance and like what's going on. And Anna Kendrick and the husband, Emily's husband, kind of grow like closer together. And then they find a vehicle, and Anna Kendrick's body was found in a river, and she's dead.
Blake Lively.
I'm sorry, Anakin. Yeah,
Jeez, you gotta have faith. Am I right?
Yeah, right. Emily's character is dead. So then it becomes this whole thing of trying to figure out what happened and how she died, what's going on. She was like shot up with heroin, and her liver was like destroyed from being an alcoholic, which none of that made sense in Kendrick's character because she liked to have like a strong martini, but like I would hardly say she was an alcoholic.
Yeah,
And
definitely
she
not
definitely
a heroin
was not
addict.
doing heroin.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no way you're hiding track. Yeah, she wore suits with her.
and she said she had track marks all over her arms and between her fingers and toes. Like her husband definitely would have known that.
Yeah.
Absolutely would have known that. And we see her without sleeves on multiple times, like around Anna Kendrick's character. Also, like the first time I believe it is that they come back to Emily's house, she's standing there like they're having a conversation. She's taking her cufflinks off and she just pulls off the shirt. It's one of those little like attached things, like clip-ons, just hidden on her jacket. That made me laugh so hard, like probably way harder than it should have.
And there were a couple things about this that were dark, but I still found myself laughing because of just some of the dialogue choice that they had. And it was good dialogue, not because it was bad dialogue, but they go to the funeral, they bury her, they come back, they have the reception, and the son, the youngest son. I mean, what is he, like 5 years old, 6
Like
years
Emily's
old?
kid?
Yeah, Emily's kid. They're about 6 years old. Yeah,
6, 7 years
they're
old.
young, and he's outside having just mad, can't deal with it that mom's dead. So he
attacks his friend.
Anna's son ended up being like, "Well, it's okay, your mom's in heaven now." Immediately attacks him because he's just a kid. He's like, my mom's dead.
He don't want to hear that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear that. Fights him. The dad and Anna Kendrick's character get involved, and he doesn't really know how to react to him. He's a good dad, but you can tell that he wasn't really.
He wasn't prepared to deal with that conflict.
He's not prepared to deal with that conflict at all. And he kind of starts talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, well, does she probably do this with a drink in her hand at 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon?" And Anna's like, "Okay, let's take a deep breath.
Let's chill.
Let me do this." And she does something really sweet too, because he's like, "I don't want you to be my mommy, the little kid." And that's not what
she's
Anna
like, "Yeah,
wanting to
I don't
do.
want to be your mom either."
Yeah, I don't want to be your mom either. So let's just sit here and watch the grass grow and be mad. Like, you know what I mean? And that kind of helped that. And then you jump to the next line or the next scene, which was them having dinner. And that was where it made me laugh because it's a serious moment. And the son says she's seen his mom.
Yeah. Then in the dinner scene, the Emily's son is like, "Oh, I saw mom today," and they're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, like
so like the first time that I watched it, right? We've seen this twice. We watched it originally our first time. We watched it again to do this episode about. This kind of jumped out to me a little bit at the table, the way that the father acts whenever there's him and Emily's son says that I saw my mom today. He acts like really skittish about it, and I don't understand why someone would act that way. She's dead, but it's really good foreshadowing later on to the fact that she's not dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's almost like when she shows up to it, the diner, he's like, "Oh, it's you." He kind of almost suspects it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't put it past her. She's so out there that he doesn't put it past her.
And that he's in love with her, but he really doesn't know that much about her. And he said that they have like a couple flashback scenes, and it was a pretty messed up one with Blake Lively stealing his mother's ring and like having
family
him choose
heirloom.
her or me. Like, whoa, okay, but he just couldn't. Something about her, she was amused to him.
Yeah,
but
dude,
once they got together, he never wrote a book.
She's so enchanting.
Yeah. So I can stop saying her name wrong. Anna Kendrick is Stephanie. So from this point on, we will say Stephanie. And we apologize for that.
So when Stephanie and Emily are hanging out at one point and they're drinking, and Stephanie is quite a bit tipsy. She's pretty gone.
Yeah.
Emily's not really affected. They have like a little like nice intimate moment where she like consoles Stephanie and then they kiss, right? And so you find out later on in the film that Emily either is bisexual or she just completely adapts to any situation and nothing is beyond her, because she has a relationship with a woman at one point when she's in college with this artist woman, which Emily is a very selfish person. So maybe she had no attraction to women, whatever. It was just what she needed to do in that moment. You know what I mean?
She's a manipulator.
You don't really know she's a manipulator. So, but in that moment, like her and Anna Kendrick share that little moment together, and Anna Kendrick's character is like, "I'm so embarrassed about that." Stephanie.
You did it. You did it. I addressed it, and you did it.
Stephanie's so embarrassed about it, and Emily's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, baby. It's just Tuesday."
It's just Tuesday.
That line made me like
just another Tuesday.
That line made me laugh a little bit. They had that little moment or whatnot, and it just like speaks more to like the aura that surrounds Emily. You know what I mean? She's just this very alluring person, and not even necessarily in just a sexual way. She's very alluring in total. It's like she's very mysterious, and like you want to know her and befriend her. Like you want to know this person, And so for Stephanie, who is like shown no indications that she is anything but heterosexual, because she had a husband and a kid, and she's never expressed any attraction for women or whatever, but it just speaks to like how alluring Emily is as a person. In that moment, she was so like entranced by her, and it's like what you're saying. It goes back to the husband. It's almost like he's not an author anymore because of her.
Yeah,
it's like he can't control himself around her. He can't like think straight or whatever. Like they make her this very ominous presence.
Well, when they go to her girlfriend, the only painting of her face, like it's really the only picture we have of her.
Her is a painting of her nude,
completely nude.
with at an upward angle.
And also, did you notice when she was listing off animals, she said beaver, and it showed that picture?
Immediately, very next frame, yeah.
Stephanie was like, and beavers. But when you meet her, that was the last good painting she had. She could only draw her after that.
Exactly.
So, like, in a way, she brings this life to you, but then it just goes away
It's
immediately.
all-encompassing. It's all you can think about.
It's all you can think
about.
Like,
she's this very ominous presence that is just always
intoxicating.
around. Exactly. Once she enters your life, it's like all you can think about is Emily. Or Claudia is what she told.
Or Hope, or...
Yeah,
you know, I mean...
Claudia is what she told the girl in college what her name was. So, yeah, and then... So, throughout the film, Emily is disappeared or whatnot. Stephanie's getting very suspicious of like what's going on. This isn't making any sense. She didn't do heroin. I wouldn't have said she was an alcoholic. Like her husband would have definitely have known these things. The kid is saying that he saw her mom when she goes to tuck the kids in at night. She makes Emily a friendship bracelet, and her friendship bracelet is laying on the counter. And it's like, okay, well, this is weird as well. And then she goes to Emily's office trying to figure out like what's going on. Like has anyone seen her? And she like wants to try to find information. And she sneaks up into her office. And she finds a picture of Emily that says faith or have faith.
You gotta have faith.
You gotta have faith. And she's like, oh, well, what is this? This is weird. And this leads her on this whole other like tirade of going and finding. She finds Emily's parents. She tracks her down to Michigan because one of her viewers tells her, calls in and she's like, I definitely saw her like around this area or whatever. And so she goes to this camp area, which is later on in the film is where Emily was with her sister, who she drowns and murders. So it comes out that Emily is a twin, and her name is not Emily. Her name is Hope, and she has a twin
triplet.
Yeah, she's actually a triplet.
One was a stillborn.
She has a sister named Faith, and they burned down part of their parents' house when they were younger and killed their father, and then they had to flee.
Get the tattoos.
Emily has a fire tattoo with a
charity symbol.
A charity symbol around
which is the name of their other sister.
Which was the
Hope,
name of their
Faith and Charity.
Yeah, the third sibling that they ate in the womb.
That their mother convinced and their father believed.
Yeah, ridiculous. So you find out that their mom is not necessarily such a great person. They didn't have like such a great upbringing. It seems like it did seem like they were kind of like they had parents had money, and they went to this like summer camp or whatnot, and that's like where they had met each other again, which is where the person that called into Stephanie's not podcast but her YouTube thing.
Yeah, they sent her a message from the vlog.
Yeah, sent her a message from on her vlog, and she goes and finds all this stuff out. That's the point where it starts to get just insane after that. It starts to get crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
Emily's not freaking dead. Her name is not even Emily. She has a twin sister who showed up trying to extort her for money, so she murders her sister, and it's becoming very apparent now that, this character we thought was Emily this whole time is not a good person. She's a piece of garbage. When Stephanie is out there...
Stephanie's not really a good person if you think about it. It took
I like that
the
too.
day
Stephanie's not really a good person either.
But
see,
I feel like
selfish.
this movie showcases true nature of human. Even if your on appearance seem like you're painted as a very good person, they keep calling her a saint every scene almost. And she finally brings it up like, I keep getting that. He's like, well, you should really market that. People love saints. Yeah, after they're dead.
So her father died, and at her father's funeral, a guy shows up that looks just like her father when he was a kid, and it like really freaked her mom out.
Mom broke down.
Yeah, and it turns out that this is her like long-lost half-brother that no one knew about. And then that night they were comforting each other, and like she tells Emily that her dad was like the only person that really understood her, and then she has sex with her brother. And then it never like fully said, but it very much leads you to believe that her and her brother continue having sex as they grow and get older, and then she meets her husband, they get married, and it's possible that her kid is not even her husband's, it's hers and her brother's.
Not
it's like
confirmed,
an incestuous
but
kid.
it's safe
very
to
much,
assume that
very much hinted toward that is a possibility, and that's why her husband is like upset. So he goes and takes the brother out like on a car ride. They're gonna have a conversation, and they get in a car accident and they both die. It's like, and she tells Emily like in one moment the two most important men in my life were just gone, So that's her like dark secret is that she had an incestuous relationship with her brother that directly led and correlated with her husband and her brother's death. Like that's crazy. So she has like a dark past, and like that doesn't necessarily make her like a bad person.
No.
But she's not like she's very, very selfish. She's very like prideful. Right? So she acts like, people always say that about me, but it's obvious she takes pride in that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? She takes pride in being like superior and like, I am a better parent, you know?
You got to think that from the vlogs too. She's telling you how to be a better mother. That's like her pushing down like, I'm the best mom. I'm the peak form of mom. Like, and that could be taken as like
she's the Omega mom.
Yeah, Omega
mom.
Omega level.
But yeah, so she's like she's very prideful in that sense, and she's very egotistical, but she like tries to downplay it herself, So she's not necessarily a good person. Emily, definitely not a good person. The husband, definitely not a good person. Like,
So all three people are
he
not
thinks
really
his
good
wife is
people.
dead, immediately sleeps with somebody else, but he's supposed to be like all wrapped up in love with his wife. And then when Emily shows back up, she shows up to the husband. They had a $4 million life insurance policy taken on Emily.
Well, she contacts Stephanie first, remember?
Yeah, she just
Calls her
contacts
and says,
Stephanie first.
nice dress.
Yeah,
Or nice
yeah,
skirt.
yeah.
Nice skirt. Why don't you kiss my husband for me?
But she did all of that stuff for her son. Like, she loves her child. And the $4 million is
her little dude.
something to, like, to help the kid. Like, makes it known that she's having money problems. They can't sell the house. Like, she's the one that's bringing in money. So that's her motivation for all this, is money for the kid. But it's also very selfish. And as the movie goes on, it's like, I don't know if I fully believe that.
Yeah.
That may just be a line you're feeding the husband. It all boils down in the end. The three of them are together, and Emily and the husband, whose name I can't remember, but they're together in their house.
God, what is his name?
Yeah, I don't remember. Who cares? He's not important.
Terrible performance, so it's not like it really matters.
Man, dude. Like,
I mean,
I
he
feel
might
bad.
not have been that bad,
I
but
feel
next
bad
to
for
them,
him. Having to share the screen with the two of them, and like, this is one of Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively's like best performances. They are fantastic. It's a crime that they're not getting like awards consideration, especially Blake.
It's honestly
she was
my
fantastic.
favorite of the two. That's what's crazy.
What, Blake?
Yeah.
No.
No, Blake and Anna. I think this
really?
is my number one for both of them.
Oh man, no. See,
They lead both of my categories this year. So
I'm not sure if it's my number one for both of them or not. I know for Anna, it's definitely not, because Up in the Air is my number one for her. And for Blake, it's either this or The Town. I need to rewatch The Town. Like, it's either this or The Town, but she's fantastic in both.
Yeah.
And so throughout this time when Emily like resurfaces and like Stephanie knows she's not dead, the husband knows she's not dead, right? And Stephanie's pretty much like uncovering her plot. Emily tells, like, her and Stephanie meet up at a graveyard at Emily's grave.
She sets that up through her vlog,
Yeah,
which
sets
is
that
really
through her vlog,
awesome.
which is
she
incredible.
knows she's watching. She's like thinks
Yeah.
that she's gonna have. God, it's such a great character.
There's one scene where she's talking to her vlog, but she's very clearly talking to Emily, and it shows Emily in a hotel room, like, watching it. And she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Like,
slamming it.
That's so mad.
Played that song, cuts to Anna rapping.
Yeah,
Oh,
in the car. I
that's
love
one of my
that.
favorite scenes.
Emily is trying to now concoct a plot with Stephanie to pin it on the husband. That she throws a hammer up in the air, hits herself in the eye, a wrench in the air, hits herself in the eye with it, goes to the police, trying to make it look like her husband like beat her and like kidnapped her and stuff, and like
Which,
made
as
her
I'm watching, is just
disappear.
infuriating me.
Yeah,
But-
it's like, I'm like, man, Emily is such, or Hope,
God.
such a piece of trash.
God, that's awful.
Awful person. So like all that happens, but at the same time, the husband and Stephanie have their own little plot going on that they're gonna try to get Emily to admit that she did all of this and get her taken to jail. So they show up at the house, and Emily and the husband are there, and then Stephanie comes in with a gun. It's like, oh man, what is going on? And she's like, you told me you love me. You told me you love me too, blah, blah, blah. And like she says it to Emily, and the husband and to Emily, and then she shoots the husband.
And Emily does not know about this.
No,
little part.
she has no idea what's going on. She's like, oh man. And then Stephanie, I think, overdoes it a bit when she drops down on the ground. She's like, oh my God, what do we do? Do we call the cops? Do I just let him die? What do we do? What do we do? And then Emily is like, get up.
And Emily
Get up.
admits to killing her
So then-
sister, too.
Yeah, so they get up, and then Emily admits that she killed her sister and that she faked her own death, right? And she tells them she knew, like, that they were doing this. She was like, yeah, I figured this was happening. So, like, I searched the house and found these 2 wires that you put in the house to try to record my confession.
One for you, one for you.
Yeah, one for you and for you. And she takes them out of her pocket and, like, throws them away. And it's like, oh, man, Emily is too smart. She bested them. She's like, I've been thinking I've been on the run my whole life. I've been fooling people my whole life. You don't think that I saw this coming? And Stephanie's like, Emily pulls a gun out of the couch. She goes, oh, look what I have here. And Stephanie is like, well, the cops are outside. And Emily says, no, they're not. She's like, I've been doing this my whole life. I redirected them to like someone else's house, to like where all the other mother friends meet up.
And she mimicked Stephanie's voice,
Like, mimicked
too.
her
like,
voice.
hi, guys. Yeah.
This is the part of the movie where it kind of like breaks down a little for me. This whole sequence of how they explain all of this.
Because it's so obscure given to what the
Yeah,
first 2 acts presented.
exactly,
like
right?
it changed completely. That's what my issue is with the only issue with this
I
movie
still
was.
like it. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
no.
the ending was really, really cool, but I thought it could have been written better.
Minus
It was very
minus
loose.
the very I didn't like her getting hit by a freaking car.
Yeah, that was my biggest contention. Is at the end, like, she runs outside after she knows she's found out, right? So she says that she diverted the cops like to someone else's house, and then she turns around and shoots her husband. Really
This is
shoots
before
him.
she ran out. She was still on the
No,
couch.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she
okay.
turns around, she shoots her husband. She's gonna kill Stephanie. Stephanie's like, well, you're not going to kill me. And she's like, oh, please, I murdered my sister, faked my own death, and just shot my
killed
husband.
my husband. Or killed my dad.
I killed my father, but I'm not going to kill my best friend. And so Stephanie's
Really?
like,
My best friend?
really, are we best friends? I love they still have that little, like, really? Are we best friends?
Well,
Do you really mean that?
I really like you. It's hard being a...
But then she tells her, like, you should come on my vlog sometime and we could talk about this. She goes, well, we're doing it right now. And so she has a little nanny cam and she's been live streaming this whole thing. So Emily is totally screwed now. Or Hope, or Claudia.
Whatever you want to call her.
She is totally done. Like, her confession is on tape now. It's been live streamed. There's nothing she can do about it. She runs outside and she's trying to escape. You can hear the police sirens coming. Stephanie runs out after her and she's like, Emily, you can't go anywhere. Like, where are you going? Like, they're going to find you. So then she pulls the gun up again, and now she's going to shoot Stephanie. Like,
I thought that was very weird to progress to that. Like,
yeah,
she should have just shot her inside. You're still on camera, so like, it doesn't change anything. If you're gonna murder her, don't.
Like, I kind of get that she's trying to flee, like, oh, I gotta leave, like runs away, but also that's kind of uncharacteristic of Emily, who is very composed and very well thought out. That she just freaks out in the moment and just runs away. You know what I mean?
This is the worst situation she's been put in. Though.
Exactly. Yeah. So then she can hear the police sirens. She's like, oh,
110,000 people watching at that moment.
Yeah, at that moment, like, I know I'm not getting away. She's like, now I'm gonna kill you. And then she gets hit by a car, and lo and behold, it's Darren. Who Emily diverted the cops to. Like, there's a scene when she says that shows Darren and, like, two of the other moms at his house, and they're smoking, like, out of a bong.
Yeah.
And the cops bust the door down, and he's like, I have a prescription!
I have ocular pressure!
That made me laugh. But then he shows up and hits her with a car, and he's like, we were watching your vlog, like, live. And they did say earlier in the movie that all the other, like, parents actually watch her
they
vlog.
They mentioned at the reception.
Right, yeah, they slide that little line in there. They watch her vlog. At first, they were just making fun of her, but then they realized, oh, she is actually pretty helpful. Mm-hmm. So, like, all of that was just a setup for a man to walk up to a woman and say, when you mess with one mom, you mess with us all. And it's like, oh, you're not, oh, but he's not a woman. It's like, that felt very forced and cheap for a movie that was, at this point, presenting itself to be so progressive. You know what I mean? That felt very forced and cheap. And it's like that whole ending sequence was hinging on that joke landing. And I was like, man, like, that's a cheap joke and cheap thrill to hinge the ending of, like, this really good story you've been telling up to that point. Then the ending could have gone similar to that without
But you didn't have that line.
Yeah.
It felt
it just
forced,
felt
like you were
very
saying.
convoluted and forced. And
I rolled my eyes.
It took it down for me, right? Like, I probably would have given the movie like a 9 out of 10, but after that, it was probably like an 8, maybe a 7.5.
Throwing ratings out here, huh?
The performances
Cut that.
Actually, I probably would give it more. I'd probably go like an 8.5. Like, the ending can't ruin it that much for me. But, like, the performances are fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're a fan of Anna Kendrick or Blake Lively, that's why you watch this movie. They are 100% amazing in this movie. The movie itself is very, very good. The ending is a bit convoluted and a bit, like,
especially
forced and tacked on.
Led up to that point from
Everything
Act 1 to Act 2.
Is really great. And then it goes into that. And it's kind of like, oh, man. Like, the writing could have been touched up quite a bit at the end there, which I fully would lay on the director himself. It's like, Paul Feig could have easily been like, oh, this is stupid. We need to do more.
Yeah.
Like, that's his fault.
It was a big shock ending, and I don't think, for me personally, it did not hit.
It didn't land at all.
Obviously, everything hit up to that point, especially with what we said earlier about the whole, her walking in with the gun, having this whole
all that was great. All
two
those
people
little
on
twists.
one side. Emily's like, oh my God, I didn't expect this to happen. What's going on?
All those little twists right there, like, oh, they're working together, but no, they're actually working together. And like, oh, she shoots him. Oh, but she didn't really shoot him. Oh, now she shoots him. Oh, but she's on a live stream. It's like so much thrown at you, and it was like really cool. Like, it just kept heightening and heightening, and then her to get run outside and hit by Darren because they were watching the live stream. I was like,
I love when they were at the funeral scene, or when they were at the tombstone when she was having the martinis, discussing the plans. Obviously, you ruined her insurance fraud. She's like, well, I don't want my husband, and he's like, well, I don't want him either.
Yeah, and that's what leads them
you
to
think
like
I would
work
wrap
together.
myself out for that POS? That's what she said.
Dude, man, Emily's character has so many awesome lines in the movie.
Oh, my goodness.
When she tells, she's talking to her boss, and she's just, you're going to shut the F up, and you're going to leave me alone. And just hangs up. And
You got to go right at him. The big ones, you got to go right at him.
Stephanie's like, you talk to your boss like that? And she goes, oh, yeah, at the big ones, you got to go right at him like that, because they will F you in the face.
And Stephanie took that advice, too. Like,
she
changed.
goes to the
Most of
office.
this was possibly because she's changed being around Emily. She got a little more confidence. She's hanging out with, like, the cool girl, you know? Like, so.
See, and in that light, they try to paint her as, like, the hero in that way, and whereas, like, oh, it's just rubbing off on her, it's making her, like, more confident and stuff like that. But I don't know that she wasn't confident to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, she is insecure, obviously. But, well, I don't know. She tries to put herself off that she's insecure, and I don't know that she's insecure. It's more that she's just reserved because of her past.
Yeah, I was going to say, it
she
probably
feels
deals with
guilty
what she did.
for for like how her husband and her brother died. I don't necessarily know that I would say that she's insecure or that she is not confident. You know what I mean? I think she kind of puts that out there as like a defense mechanism to make herself appear that way when she's really not. This is the very end of the movie. She's doing her last vlog. She now has 1 million viewers now,
Yes.
1 million subscribers.
In a brand new kitchen.
Yeah, brand new kitchen. Looked a lot like Emily's.
It does.
Because she mentioned how she loves that house. But she has like her show's doing great now, and she's like still doing the mommy vlog thing, but she also runs like a private detective agency, essentially. So, and she's like, very composed and speaking like with more confidence and whatever. But throughout the whole show, we see her on the vlog series, like she is very front and center in camera and is not reserved at all.
No,
You know what I mean?
She is very confident in what she's
Very
doing,
confident.
and what she thinks is good is good. Like she's doing a very good job of doing what she wants. There was also I hate to backtrack, but there was a funny thing. The main detective that was doing the interviews, finding out brought up the car, brought up.
He was really good too.
He was really good, especially when she tried to. There was a scene of her trying on Emily's
Oh,
clothes.
I love it.
And she
Trying on
puts on that
this
really
nice
tight
black dress, yeah.
but it's too tight, and she can't get it off. So she has to do this whole interview with the
In
detective
Emily's
house,
in
while
her
they
dress.
think that she was involved with it. I mean, and like obviously nothing, and she's acting real suspicious. That's what I thought was weird. Is I guess because she's only
she's
dealt
so
with
nervous.
law enforcement once, and that was dealing with her husband or her brother's death. And like she's acting so suspicious, so that doesn't help. And she's like, I don't know what you want from me. And that whole scene was great.
I love where he's like, you're not under arrest. Because, oh no, why? I mean, why would it be?
Not even a thought.
I love that. Yeah, that scene was very, very well done.
Yep.
Anna Kendrick destroys this movie.
Dude.
She kills it. She was amazing.
Seriously, just for performances alone, like
Yeah,
for those two,
absolutely
like
worth it.
seriously check it out.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and rip it up right there. Omega Level is proudly sponsored by Ink or Dye Studios, a unique combination of a tattoo parlor and hair salon. Located at 270 North Dakota Street by Flanagan's, Ink or Dye Studios employs the best artists and stylists around. Boasting a friendly atmosphere, helpful, talented, and incredibly creative staff, Ink or Dye Studios is the only tattoo shop and hair salon you'll ever need. Stop in, call, or contact them through their social media accounts today to set up an appointment. We appreciate you tuning in and checking us out, no matter how you're watching or listening to us. Make sure you hit up all of our social media. So what'd you think of A Simple Favor? Have you seen the movie? Does this make you want to watch the movie? Obviously, if you haven't seen it and you watch this, you have seen it now, because we've told you the entire film.
There are a couple things we missed,
kinda
but I
what we
mean,
do.
still, you kind of know the whole thing.
Yeah, what'd you think of the film? If you watch it, did you enjoy it? Like, what'd you think of Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively's performances? If you have any other films that you think would be good for us to watch, you'd like for us to talk about, send us a message and let us know. And we appreciate you tuning in and enjoying the show. I know you don't like Josh. I don't either.
Nobody does.